everybody. You did one hell of a job. And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah! How about them Cowboys?
And now, it's Talking Boys with the Boys. It's Talking Boys with the Boys.
Cowboys familiar. What's up? This is Talking Boys with the Boys, and we're back again with some of that Cowboys fuego. But first, a little business. Please take a minute to share and subscribe. Leave us a rating and a review wherever you find this pod. 5 stars and a couple of sentences on why you love this pod will be greatly appreciated. And now, the conglomerate, the panel of homies. I'm your host, Adam Y, along with my co-host, Dreezy. What's up, baby?
Dreezy, they call me the fantasy freak, baby.
Hey, man, we got 2 special guests, 2 of my homeboys tonight, man. No other than my brother from another mother, my hermano, LP Cruz of Stonehall Sports, and my guy, Kelly Killer K9, Swaggy J. What's happening, guys?
Yo, what up, fellas? What's happening?
Yeah.
I should have told me Kelly was coming on, man. I would have had some stuff for him to say in Jerry's voice.
Hey, this guy's so good, he can do it on the spot. I know it.
always.
As always, baby. Hey, what's everybody drinking tonight, man? Real quick, shout out to TX Whiskey, distilled in Fort Worth, Texas, baby. That's all I drink. What you got, Kelly?
Got a little bit of Jack and Coke in the Cowboys cup.
Dreezy?
I'm finishing off this Cowboys, the Corona Refresca.
Oh, I got you. LP?
Man, just apple juice, you know what I'm saying? Designated driver of this bus. So
no, I feel you, man. Hey, man, well, let's jump straight into this thing, dog. I know we got a lot to talk about tonight, man. I appreciate you guys coming out, dog, and showing love to the Talking Boys with the Boys. And you know how I say it, man. Y'all guys are part of the cartel, man. Y'all always rocking with us, dog. But let's jump straight into this thing, man. Let's talk about yesterday's practice and today's practice. And I want to know who or what stood out to you at the Cowboys-Chargers joint practice yesterday and today. LP?
Once again, man, the defense. And it's not really about, because to us, it's no surprise. Like, the defense has been like that for a minute. Yeah. Went into last season. I hope y'all can hear me all right.
Yeah, we can hear you.
But it's who they're doing it against. You know what I'm saying? People talk a lot about this Chargers team being a dark horse contender and stifling them like that. That says a lot, man. Like that's legit. It's always one thing to beat up on your own guys, but we beat up a team like that the NFL world is watching. Yeah, that says something for real.
Absolutely. Kelly?
I feel like for me it was physicality. I thought that when the Broncos came in, and I thought the Broncos were the more physical of the 2 teams, and I thought the Cowboys kind of got a little bit of a chin check. I thought they responded, accordingly when they came against the Chargers. I thought it was more physical on the Cowboys' part. I feel like they really brought it, and they had that intensity. So I'm hoping that carries over into the game as well. So.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. And we talked about that too. Me, Dreezy, Mark D, and that boy Mario, man, on the podcast the other day, dog. They kind of got beat up, man. But it looks like from everything that's been said here lately is they kind of came back and held their own this yesterday's joint practice and today's joint practice as well. But man, one thing was, I had to ask you guys, man, everybody here, man, am I tripping, or did this O-line look more cohesive going against Bosa, Rump, Mack, and company yesterday versus what we saw today? Because they kind of looked heavy-footed today, man.
In full disclosure, I didn't watch too much of today. I just had a lot going on. Yeah. I will say, are you tripping? I don't know. Honestly, you might be, only because we saw this guy. I'm just saying
this guy.
Well,
LP, get him, LP.
No. Yeah. What? I got some problems with his O-line, right?
Yes.
So last week about this time, we saw some good practices in Denver. We were hyped, right?
Yeah.
Saturday night, we weren't so hyped, right? So cool. They look good against the Chargers. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying they can't.
Yeah.
But am I gonna take 1 or 2 practices and think that all the problems are fixed? Hell no. I can't do it. Yeah. I just can't. Like, I need to see more of it, and I'm glad that they're starting to trend in a positive direction.
Mhm.
But I can't just say, "Oh yeah, there it is." Tyler Smith, Fix, Biotish, cool. You know, I just can't do it.
LP, I like the cohesiveness though. I saw something different versus what Kelly was just talking about, the Denver game, man, or the Denver practices and the Denver game, man. I saw a unit out there kind of put it together somewhat, like I said, against that front, that vaulted front of the Chargers, the Bolts, man. And I think, I don't know, man. Tyler Smith, to me, it's just to me, I don't know. Let me get y'all's opinions here, but he's looking like the real deal, dog. He's setting the anchor. I mean, that kid is strong, dog. He's driving guys to the ground, pancaking guys, dog. I seen earlier too, a live feed of him of day 2, which is today, of the practice, and they were switching him in Connor McGovern out at left guard right there, man. Do y'all have an issue with that, or should we just let the kid get in there and ball out?
No, I mean, it's no problem. So if the intent is to have the man earn his stripes or earn his star, if you will, let him do it, because it does. So the first round pick is going to see the field. That's going to be a given. But to that point, though, it could be a case of let's showcase McGovern. McGovern is up after this season. He's gone. So it pays for him to get the extended look. Say, okay, well, he's a guard. Y'all can see him play left guard. Yeah. If they pull that trigger, make that move, oh well. I mean, because you might be trying to just raise the value up. So, I think it's okay. I think it's fine. I had a question, though.
What's that?
If we all agree that the line's more cohesive based on, from last week to this week, if you agree to that, who is responsible for that? Because everybody hates the O-line coach. Yeah. So who is responsible for that?
Man, I can't. I don't know, man. I know there's a lot of hate for Philbin right now. Kelly is. I mean, like the hate for Philbin. I will say this. How can you hate Philbin and then hate the? I seen this earlier, so I'm on the backdoor my guy. Had that out there, man, because I seen it and made a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? But he said something to the effect like this, Kelly. He said, "How can you hate how can you talk shit about Philbin and say that he didn't want Tyler Smith?" And he, the pick and the narrative that's going around right now, and that he would rather have had Connor McGovern and went for something else, and but then turn around and say Jerry Jones and them call the shots. You know what I'm saying? So who are we? I mean, who are we? Who's getting the credit? Who's getting the blame?
Yeah, that's a tough call right there. I mean, I know that everybody's looking towards the offensive line coach right now. That seems like the easy way to go, the easy person to blame. But I mean, I think that I think a lot of the blame can just go to the Cowboys front office in general. I mean, you let guys go that you didn't think were going to pan out. You're like, all right, we're going to let go of Connor Williams because he's penalty heavy. But then you take McGovern over from the right side, switch him over to the left side, and he ain't near as good as what you thought he was. Well, that's on you guys. You didn't evaluate the man well enough. You didn't, you know what I mean? You thought you had a plan in place. That plan ain't working. That's not. I don't think that's necessarily on Philbin. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe he was the voice that said that. But I felt like they let go of some pieces. Lyle Collins, I mean, they let him go. I mean, say what you want about him. I mean, our offensive line as a collective, I don't really feel got better over the, even with the draft and Tyler Smith. I don't feel like we got better this offseason necessarily with what we got. I feel like we got rid of some of our depth and some players that were a little bit more dependable. So, I mean, that's really on the front office. If this O-line struggles, it's on them. I don't know that there's really an offensive line coach that can come in here and fix this. Although I will say that, I mean, I'm a Mark Colombo guy. I hated to see that he left. I mean, because I feel like he's great. He's great at his craft, and I'd love to see him back on the team coaching that offensive line. But yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily blame all this at the foot of
Philbin. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you as well, dog. Too. I can agree with that too, man. But like for us, we've been calling for running game Moses, LP, right? We're just like, hey, man, we can get Callahan back, baby. Get this running game going again. You know what I'm saying? Get these guys to open them gaping holes that they were opening, man. No pun intended. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, dog, like I don't know, man. Is Philbin to blame? LP, is that the question, or
to give credit to, it says a lot, man, because Tyler Smith, I think really with Tyler Smith over the first few mini camps, we're like, man, this guy's strong, he's powerful, he's a sponge too. Like when they talk to him, he really seems to get it, right? Like they put a lot on his plate and he gets it. And I'm pretty sure like if the other guys were available in the draft, the like Kenyon Green was available or Zion Johnson, that might have been the pick, maybe, right? But the guy was a need. He feels a need. He plays with power. He wants to be here. So I'm not really worried about the guy. It's almost like, you know, how we talk about who's the bigger influence. Like, is it the coach? Is it the player? I kind of want to feel like it's the player because they didn't want him to. So maybe the player got himself right. You know, he humbled himself amongst his, you know, the staff maybe, but maybe amongst the team around him. You know, like maybe it was Zach Martin. Maybe it was Tyron Smith. Like, who really knows? But if anything, if that's what's going on right with him, then I'm more worried about what's going on wrong with 78. So the credit I think goes to the player kind of knowing who he is and trying to be a sponge. I don't know, you know, if it's Philbin, then why can't you fix 78?
That's true. That's true.
I'm not sitting here blaming Philbin for anything, but like I said, and you know this from week to week, I'm not entirely thrilled with this offensive line. I don't have a solution, honestly, right now. I just know that it has a strong potential to be a weak link really quickly, man. Because Tyron, we all know his history, right? Rookie left guard. Biotish, who I don't know who's really confident in him. Of course, Martin's great. And then Steele, I'll take something for that. I thought Steele was going to look much better than what he has. I thought Steele was going to be our second best lineman. So that surprises me and that disappoints me that he up until now he hasn't looked better. But like I tell Mark every week, it's still August, bro. Week one, it's not tomorrow. So let's chill. Let's give him some time. You know,
hey, you get it? It's still August.
Yeah.
Hey,
shout out to LP Cruz, baby. Yeah.
Yo, let me add one thing though, right? So you say it's still August, it's still early, right? But the things you talked about, though, right? Those things are not just a August thing, like Tyron Smith being hurt, right? Even the backup swing tackle, Josh Ball. You keep telling me it's only August, but we know about Ty. Like we know about Tyron Smith could get hurt. The part that kind of trips me out is that they've not really cross-trained Tyler Smith either to play tackle.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much all ball or nothing. All right, you know what I'm saying? A little plug right there, ball or nothing. But that's what I'm saying though. Like
which is not a good thing. Because I said last week, Ball, I don't even think is an NFL lineman. Like,
damn.
He did.
Is he?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Based on practice, all right.
Yeah. But I backdoor this and ask you guys this. I asked the guys last week too, Kelly. I'm tired of the swing tackle thing, man. I want a left tackle and a right tackle to solidify those backup pros, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm tired of the Tynan Seckies of the world. I'm tired of the Josh Balls of the world. I'm tired of that kind of bullshit, man. Like, I mean, fuck that, man. Go give me a left tackle that can back up Tyron, and go give me a right tackle that can back up Steele, dog. You know what I'm saying? And
there's some guys out there, and there's got some guys out there in that free agent market that may not be they may not be like that your every down starters anymore. But there's some guys out there that could come in and provide depth and be better than some of what we have right now. And I've seen it. You know, I don't really know exactly who they should go after, but I've seen a lot of names out there, and I've looked at it, and there's some of them absolutely that are better than what we got on this roster. I do know that. So I feel like I don't see this Cowboys. I don't see them standing pat on what they have right now. I feel like what they have now is not going to be what they're going to have come September 11th on Sunday night versus the Bucks. I just don't see it.
No, man. I mean, and you got to think about other teams that are making cuts as well. You know what I mean? They're going to have to dwindle down shit to a 53-man roster just like we are. So there's going to be some guys on the street or that are looking for another team or somewhere to get on, man, that can possibly do those jobs for us, man, and can step in here and do those jobs, like I said, man. And I saw a video today, man, of Josh Ball, dude. I mean, day 2 in practice, getting fucking whooped, bro. And it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But one thing though, in the I guess in the 2 joint practices that I wrote notes about, and that what I could see, and guys that were live streaming over there, you know, this is probably one of the cleanest practices they had so far, and the run game seems to continue to be consistent, man, and that's something that's going to take us far. You know what I mean? So, what do you guys think about the run game right now, man, and where it stands?
It's from the inside, though. I've noticed, like, even going back to like the practice with Denver, going to the game with Denver, the interior 3 have been holding it down, and 73 is washing dudes out.
That's our boy.
But respect.
Let's go.
So, but the center, whoever stepped in that spot, I think it might have been Braylon Jones. Like, the middle guys have been doing their part.
Yeah.
And the backup running backs have been shining also. Yeah. Like the Rico Dowdles, the Champlins. They've been getting their turn though. So that's a positive thing.
Dreezy?
Well, all I ever hear is that the Cowboys are a run first team, right? Run first. We still might be. I don't think we are. I think we go as far as Dak's arm takes us. But like everyone said, we still got Zeke, right? We still got Pollard, who I love, who I wish had a bigger role. You know that. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
Let's get Pollard, like, and not just pissy touches, like I call them, real deal fucking touches in the first and second quarter to set a tone, right? So I mean, of course we need our run game, but I don't think we are a run team. I know a lot of people say that. I see it all the time on Twitter, but I mean, you know, of course,
I don't want to be a run team, yo. I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't either.
Man, speaking of Tony, Kelly, man, look, man, LP Cruz, this is from that boy Mike Gelkin, man. So I'm gonna read off a tweet this guy said, man. Tony Pollard confirmed today's practice was the most he's ever worked at wide receiver. In part with the absences, of course, the CD and his foot, the foot cut that he has. Nothing to be worried about. I would just have him heal too. It was just a cut. Supposedly they were fucking around and stepping on each other's feet and bullshit, and the cleat got him. So you know what I'm saying? Maybe that little fungus thing, you know what I'm saying? You don't want that to happen, Kelly, right? Floating that river shit, you know what I'm saying? But you know, Noah Brown was absent as well. But he says they can keep building on that and his communication with Dak Prescott. But other than that, we're looking good. But I seen 2 plays. I seen Tony go down the seam and drop a ball that hit him pretty good in the hands. And then I seen Dak Prescott thread a needle on a little slant that he came out of the slot. And he got it. I mean, he threaded the needle. Tony Pollard caught it and went up about 15 and took it to the house, man. It was lovely. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, you know, he just continued the motion through, but I mean, the guys were right there. Either, you know, whether he was going to break it or not, that's something else. But man, that is something that we've been clamoring for, man. You know what I'm saying? This guy, this is the kind of stuff he did coming out of Memphis, man. You know what I'm saying?
Ike.
Hey,
and what? And so, what?
And Kelly, hey, what? Said, hey, you got to tell Kelly more, homie.
Yo, until I see it, I don't really care, yo. Like, okay,
yeah, I got you. Hey, but that's the thing we've been saying as well, dog. I mean, scheming things and doing things different this year, man, and not going back to your tree, to the tree of fucking Linehan, the tree of Garrett, and going vanilla. And this is what we got to do because this is what we got to do to set up the pass game. We got to, you know what I'm saying? I get it.
Damn, Zeke Giventry shit has to stop though, man. This whole like Zeke Giventry, because you know what? That is Zeke though. Like Zeke will give you all that he has until
I agree.
The branches are empty as shit. But you give so much, man. That's a lot of wear and tear on Zeke. But I don't want to interrupt because Kelly has something to say, man. So Kelly,
Kelly, he's ready.
I was gonna say what went down here was going down with the whole Pollard thing.
Yeah,
Jerry went on down. And he said, "What we gonna do with Tony Pollard? We're gonna turn him into a wide receiver. That way, these fans can't accuse us of not using Pollard. Zeke's gonna be the guy that we're gonna run the ball with. He's our Bentley. We're going to focus with Zeke. Move Pollard out to goddamn wide receiver, and then we don't got to hear about it no more. That's what the fuck it seemed like what happened tonight. We're gonna take move him out.
Hey,
that is dope as fuck, dude.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I just, you know what, man? Look, I appreciate that, but I'm like, I want to see Tony Pollard get utilized more too. But I don't hate on it, man. Having him, moving him out, having him in the slot, utilizing, man. I'm telling you, I've been saying it for a long time, man.
Yeah.
I look at Tony Pollard and I feel like he has the same skill set as like an Alvin Kamara. Like he's the kind of guy that you can use all over the field, and we just. Kellen Moore hasn't taken advantage of that. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a guy that you get him open.
But Adam, you said yourself. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying it just you ain't seen that from Kellen Moore. They just for whatever reason they don't use him. They don't. Yeah, they don't. I don't know.
Okay, since I got you two boys on the pod tonight, right? I gotta ask you like I asked my guys, right? We have a theory, right? It's Tony Pollard's contract year. You know what I'm saying? These guys, they failed to even use him 50% of the time his whole career here, right? Even though we saw what we saw from him and kind of the change of pace guy and they could take the load off of Zeke, right? But the thing is, if they use him the way we want them to use him, he's kind of got him by the nuts, right? Like now it's like, okay, now we set the table. Now it's like
where you're going.
in negotiations, right? So do you guys think, I know what Dreezy thinks, but LP and Kelly, do you think, man, that they're really going to give this guy 50% of the snaps and drive his price up and be like, okay, well, now let's negotiate here at the end of the year since it's your contract year? Are they going to do that?
Nah. But I have said before, I would still pay him. Like, so with me.
Do it now.
Yeah, I mean, so, all right. So, I'm still going to be cynical about it, right? So you can say I'm riding the fence, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But if they were to give him more touches, they were to incorporate him, right? Mm-hmm. Here's how they would do it. And it's not really how they would do it. It's why they would do it. Mm-hmm. So with the O-line as bad as it is, you had a hard time evaluating your receivers. Like you want to evaluate Fehoko. You want to evaluate Houston. You want to see everybody, right? You want to see what these guys have. The problem is when the line is bad, you really can't evaluate what those guys are. So the only thing you have left is your investments. And here's how this works. With Pollard, if the receivers can't pan out and you find out too late, I got Tony to throw him out there. We already practiced. He'll be fine. The other part is they paid a 3-year contract to Turpin.
Yeah.
A 3-year contract. And he's doing primarily the kick returns, whom, if you recall, that's Tony's job.
Yep.
Tony's job at 28 yards a kick. So you're trying to wean Tony off of special teams to allow this guy that you paid a 3-year contract to have a role. So that means
for a quarter of what he's going to ask for anyway.
Bingo. So you're reducing Tony to incorporate him more within the offense. Again, the money talks. So they've already planned, they planted these seeds by signing the guy from the USFL. So that's really what you're going to see probably. And I would pay the guy, like I said, I'm paying Tony. 9.5, 8, 10 mil, whatever. Market's going up, so you can pay him. You know what I'm saying? If he's your guy, pay him.
Kelly, man, you know the Joneses. They do shrewd business, man. And we have a theory here at Talking Boys with the Boys where we were talking last year because everybody was like, "What's up with Michael Gallup? What's up with Michael Gallup?" Well, Michael Gallup was in the contract year. Why did they keep it was just like, okay. Let's just make them wait a little bit more. Let's just make them wait a little bit more. Let's just make them wait a little bit more. Now let's sign them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
the only thing that I would think this year that could benefit Pollard a little bit more is that I feel like this year is Mike McCarthy's coaching for his job, man. So you're gonna put out there, in my opinion, if you're smart, you're gonna put out there the guys that best give you the chance to win.
Yeah.
So it don't matter if Jerry's like, hey man, Zeke's got to be the focal point. If McCarthy's like, hey man, Pollard's a guy out there that we need to see more of. We need to get him on this field. And he's talking to Kellen Moore and saying, hey, we need to draw up more plays. We need to get Pollard involved because he's a weapon that we are underutilizing and we have underutilized. And, he's coaching for his job. So he, in my opinion, you don't go out. I mean, if you're going to go out, go out swinging. So I feel like, that on that issue, I feel like, yeah, Mike McCarthy, do everything you can to win however you can and put the best players out there that give you the best chance to keep winning. Like, you don't just sit a guy like Pollard and be like, well, nah, they don't want to pay him any money, so we don't want to showcase him too much. Like, no, let the guy shine, man. If you're Mike McCarthy, because you got I mean, Jerry Jones talking about how they got options and shit, man. I mean, you gotta, you know what I mean? You can't feel safe in your job security when they're talking like that, man. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree too. But that, I mean, that's like in theory, right? Like that's what we would hope for, right? Because my only thing is if they didn't feel so highly about Fat Mike or Mike McCarthy is what I mean, Fat Mike is what we like to call him here, you know what I'm saying, or Slim Mike now, because shit, the boy done lost about 50. You feel me? But like our only thing is if this is not the coach, right, and this is not the guy you're going to just go all in for, and have him or go all in for him to succeed, then what are we even doing here? Why is he even here? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I don't know, man. But when it comes to the Tony Pollard thing, man, and it comes to this coaching staff, man, and it comes to the front office, and whether this guy's going to come back or not, or whether he's going to get the 50% of the touches, man, it's all up in the air. We don't even know what they're going to do, dog. You know what I'm saying? So,
But bro, you said yourself, he got the most work at receiver that he'd gotten, right?
Yeah.
But he got it on a day where there's no Lamb. Of course, there's no Gallup. There's no Washington.
No Noah Brown.
There's no Noah Brown.
Yeah.
So it's like, are we gonna sit here and really believe that this is a preview of something to come, or it was just out of necessity, just because, well, I don't know what the fuck else to do today. Like, do we really have faith in Kellen Moore and Fat Mike to really do the same thing week 1, week 2, week 3, when we do have Gallup and Tolbert? I'm not Gallup, Lamb, Tolbert, in there.
Mm-hmm. And sprinkle on the Dennis Houston. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yo, Dreezy is not for the bullshit though.
That's facts, man. That's facts, dog.
It kind of does like how you have that one practice where you have the guy practice being the emergency quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what he's describing. Like, everybody's out, so go ahead.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
all right, well, let's see what we can do here. Go line up in the slot. Let's do what LP Cruz and them are saying on Twitter, man. Put you in the slot, baby.
Make me a believer, man.
That's what I'm saying, dog. Nah, man, I agree, man. Well, let's move on, dog. Let's move on right here, man. So I got a couple of more guys, man. I wanna shout out, or not even shout out, but put a bright light on, dog. That these last couple of practices and joint practices and preseason games. A guy named Deron Bland, dog. He's been awesome. LVE's been awesome, though. So those are a couple of bright spots on that defense, man. You know what I mean? And them guys been balling. Supposedly in these last couple of joint practices, Bland has gotten like 3 pass breakups, 3 PBUs, and an interception or 2. You know what I'm saying? This defense is going hard, man. So what I want to ask you guys is, man, Micah Parsons came out and said that this defense is going to be better than what it was last year. And if that's the case, man, I want to ask you guys, how scary is Micah Parsons in this defense, really?
Think before you answer that question, though, fellas. Before you answer the question, just think about the amount of turnovers they got. It's not about the efficiency in the red zone. It's not about the stops, 3 and outs. Think about the turnovers.
Yeah.
How wild that is. That they're better in that category. Man,
it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be a wild one. Kelly, top 5 defense easily, or what you think, man?
I'm definitely more excited about the defense this year than the offense, because I feel like the offense is gonna have its share of struggles. So I feel like we're gonna have to lean on this defense. But yeah, I'm excited about the defense, not just you know, because of the things you've been hearing, you know what I mean? If Leighton Vander Esch continues to that upswing where he was, you know, because he played well down the stretch last year.
Sure did.
He was not bad. I mean, and they, you know, they limited some of his snaps going down the stretch, and I think that helped him too. And I think they'll be able to do that this year because, you know, with the addition, you know, of Anthony Barr, signing him in there, you know what I mean? I feel like they've got a little bit more depth at linebacker position. So, I mean, getting the A game from Vander Esch, getting what you already know you're going to get from Parsons, you know, Diggs continuing to progress. And then you got a guy like coming out of left field, like Deron Bland, they're just raving about him. I mean, who I don't think going into it, I mean, looking at a guy, was he the fifth round draft pick? I don't think many people expected him to come in and be playing with the ones. I mean, he was playing with the ones today, and I get it that, you know, there was
Jay Lou hamstring.
Jay Lou was sitting out, but still, I mean, he's the guy that was playing with the ones. It wasn't Kelvin Joseph. It wasn't, you know, Nashawn Wright. I mean, it's him. He's Deron Bland out there, and not only did he play with her, he did well. Closed out the session with an interception. You know, had a couple pass breakups. So, I mean, you add something like that into an already good defense that was already good last year. Then I mean, I think, and you know, and then another year under Dan Quinn. Yeah, absolutely. I think this defense can take the step from being good to being the key. And that's the key. That can be the key, because I mean, man, we've got playmakers all over that defense though too, man. I mean, the thing that I like to point to was that last year, you know what I mean? If it wasn't for Micah Parsons, somebody that kind of flew under the radar but had a great season was Osa, you know, Odighi's. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, that dude came out. I mean, nobody was expecting that out of him. And I mean, he was Parsons out of the equation. So, I mean, we had two defensive players we drafted last year that came in and were making plays. And every time you turned on the tape, you know, Osa's out there flashing, man. I mean, the dude was just, tough. He's tough. So, yeah, I mean, the defense absolutely excites me. And I think it could be one of the reasons that we see some games where we're winning a game, 17. It's the defense that's keeping us in it. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about it, man. I don't give a shit how we win. Score 40 a game or score 10 a game. Just win. You know what I mean? If we win it by defense, win it by defense. Win by offense, win by offense. But it'd be nice to have a good defense for once. And you know what I mean? Have an elite defense, I mean.
Yeah. Man, trust me, dude. There's guys out there who want fucking 40 burgers and 50 burgers every fucking day, and that's all they ever care about, man. I've heard it with my own ears and seen it with my own ears. Look at LP.
Hey, look, no, I would love to see like a Raven style defense, man, where we're holding opponents to like, 10 to 13 points a game, man. Give me that. I'll take that. Where we're scoring like maybe 17 to 21. I don't care, man. Give me that.
Man, my thing is, I don't care if it's 17 to fucking 12 every goddamn game all the way to the Super Bowl, man. It wouldn't even fucking. I don't even give a damn, man. Let's get this dub, baby.
I love watching defenses lock people up. I love to watch defense lock another team up, man. So I hope we do that all year long.
I mean, I'm a little jaded off of that, but I'll say this though. The one thing, like you start naming names on this defense, the mixture of guys playing to prove themselves and the mixture of guys playing for their money. It's a lot of guys, man. You talk about guys that are on 1-year contracts looking to make a name for themselves. Because Hooker's nothing guaranteed. I think Hooker's a 1-year deal, like a 1-year deal, 1 year re-up. 2 years for Curse. Diggs is playing for his money, believe it or not. This is a money year for Diggs. Talk about Tristan Hill, who's been he's been playing good, man. Quick first step, getting upfield, contract year. A lot of guys are playing for their money and playing for their respect. Diggs is both in that category. So you start looking at those guys, man, like the of guys on the incline. Dorrance Armstrong, who I think is ascending, going up. Guys trying to stay on the roster. So got somebody like LVE, Basham.
You see what Basham's been doing? I'm like, man, we were like, Basham is gone.
I thought he was on the bubble. Yeah, I thought he was on the bubble.
We were like, Basham is gone. We're like, Basham's gone. Dante Fowler. Now I'm just like, man, I don't know if Dante Fowler's going to be here, man. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, shit, this is, the way Basham's he's been coming on here lately. So, I mean, like you said, dog, the respect. the 1 year contracts. Some guys on playing for their big contracts, man. It puts it all in a whole perspective right now. And one thing that we've had that we haven't had in a long time on this defensive side of the ball is depth, man. There's depth everywhere. The one thing that I was harping on that we didn't have depth was at the linebacker position. Of course, we signed Anthony Barr, so he's here, man, and he's given a lot of leeway and to some of these, or maybe even be a bridge player to some of these younger guys or whatever. And we might even, like I said, when roster cuts get done, we might go even pick up somebody else, man. But I think we're in a great position defensively. Offensively, man, we just discussed it, and I'm kind of disgusted. But after y'all told me, how y'all feel, but we're gonna see, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see where it ends up being, man. But yeah, anybody else that y'all noticed, man, or that stood out to y'all?
Well, I was gonna say real quick that the writing's on the wall for this defense to be better, because let's just assume, which it sucks to assume when it comes to injuries, right? Let's assume Tank doesn't miss the games he missed last year, right? Yeah. Let's assume let's assume Gallimore is there from week 1. So, right, so that's 2 impact players right there that we didn't have all the time last year. Micah in his second year, right? Barr you mentioned, Osa. I mean, Lou. The guys are just gonna get more comfortable. Take it. If they want to be even better, there's nothing.
Because I think like maybe a couple years ago, people were talking about, people like fans were really banking on Donovan Wilson. He's an afterthought. Like they don't even think about him no more.
Yeah.
So now you talking about guys like Israel. Talk about guys like Malik Hooker, Curse. Like safety has become a strength out the blue. Like it's a strength now. Like we don't count on safety no more. Like that's locked down. Anthony Brown is, I think he's maybe in the last year of his new contract, something like that.
Yep.
Anthony Brown playing for money. Like he's proven himself that he's a good player for what you ask him to do. I mean, a very good player on a budget. So this defense, man, has turned what we thought a weakness into a strength. And you still couple that with the front office that will find guys later. Like if you get anything out of Damone Clark, perfect. Like, I mean, they're finding players that can contribute right away. Sam Williams is another guy, man. Like the depth here is stacked.
Yeah. It's sick, man. I totally forgot about Damone Clark, dog. Thanks for bringing the guy up. Like man, come on, dog. Like he probably should be ready, but what, mid-season, somewhere around there?
Honest confession, man, I forgot about Anthony Barr already.
Already. The Barr baby. The Barr baby. Hell yeah. No, I hear you guys, man. I hear you guys. All right, man. Well, let's move on, man. I want you to name 2 guys that you think that you need to see more from in this next preseason game against the Bolts when we play them, man. Like 2 guys that you absolutely need to see more from.
For me, I still need to see some continued growth and improvement from Tristan Hill. I know he's had some flashes in practice and stuff, but for me, this is his make or break year. I mean, with the depth that we got along that defensive line, man, he's got to make plays. He's got to show this coaching staff that he needs to be on this roster, because if not, I've been saying it since before the season started. He could be a guy who ends up getting cut from this 53 because I mean, he hasn't shown anything up to this point to make you be like, that's a guy we should keep. Now he's had some impressive, he's impressed on a few, in a few of these practices, but he's going to have to carry that into these preseason games. And then the other guy I've got is Kelvin Joseph. And the reason why Kelvin Joseph is because, I mean, man, he struggled in this last preseason game, and he's been having some struggles, period. I mean, he makes a play here or there, but he's been inconsistent. And then when you them the 2 guys for me. Them the 2 guys for me though is Kelvin Joseph and Tristan Hill for me.
LP.
So man, honestly, I kind of want to see more out of the tight ends. So I like both guys. I like Hendershot and I like Ferguson a lot.
Yeah.
Ferguson is a draft pick. He's not going anywhere. So you have your top 3 are going to be those 3 guys. So it's going to be Ferguson, Schultz, and McKeon. But I like a lot of what you get from Peyton Hendershot, though. Big dude, has hands, can go vertical. That's a guy, if you release him, you're not getting him back.
Yeah.
You're not getting him back. So I want that guy to really press on these coaches to say, all right, look, keep him 4 tight ends. All right, keep him 4. Like, I really want that guy to play because I think he gives you a lot, man. I think you want to do some. Because if you don't see what this guy is doing, Maher or the other guy behind him, you don't want to go into week 1 and be blindsided. You don't want to do that because guess what? You're playing the same team you lost to based on field goals last year, week 1. And I understand that coaches coach to be evaluating everything. But if you have a drive, it's 3rd and 3 from your 35-yard line. Kick that ball. I want to see it. I'm sorry, 4th and 3. Kick that ball. I want to see it. I want to see this guy make kicks in a game to see what he's got. Yeah. So those 2 for me stand out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, Mark said all last week that Tolbert looked good. He was getting separation. The ball just wasn't getting to him. We know Cooper Rush played like ass, so it's not entirely Tolbert. Well, personally, I want to see more from Tolbert. You were drafted in the 3rd round. Everyone says that you should have been a 2nd-round pick. I still don't know about that, but still, show us more, man. Like we are gonna need you. Like you are gonna be the 2nd wide receiver until Gallup comes back. In theory, like show us more. Don't just get the separation. Catch the ball when it hits your hands. I know Cooper Rush's ass, right? And I'm not saying DiNucci is any better. I'm just saying make plays, man, because we're gonna need you. So show us that you deserve to be here, right? And then I was gonna say a guy, and I know you're gonna laugh because it seems like I just harp on this guy every week. I want to see a little more from Tyler Smith, man. You're a 1st-round pick. You had a decent you had a decent first game against the Broncos. I'm not shitting on really anything he did, but take that next step, and then take the next step, and then take the next step. Keep moving forward. I'm not saying he can't. I just want to see it. Yeah. Because dog, I wasn't a fan of that pick, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying
I'm not a strong disdain, dog.
Like this guy. I hate it.
First, man. Let it play out, man. We don't know how it's gonna play out. Now I hear you guys, man. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I got another question for you guys real quick, man, before we wrap this thing up, dog. I want you guys to give me 2 guys that you think are legit roster bubble cuts that were here last year and maybe the year before that, dog.
You mean they were here last year and they're getting cut? Like they're not on the bubble, but they're getting cut.
No. I'm talking about legit roster. They're on the bubble right now, dog. Like it's like these motherfuckers better goddamn do something, or these young kids, or these or somebody else that we went and got and signed, or they're gonna be out the door if they don't put out. Basically, you know what I'm saying? They were here last year.
I mean, I talk about the tight ends, man. So the veteran that's going out is going to be Sprinkle, right? Sprinkle's cut.
Sprinkle or McEwen. You know what I'm saying? Either
I'm dumping that. I think McEwen is more safe than Sprinkle, but I mean, I'm dumping Sprinkle. So I think he's out the door. Somebody else, man. It's hard if the receivers emerge, and it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. If Simi is looking good, tell me why. I just gave you possibly 6 receivers without Noah Brown. I wouldn't see how you carry him on your 53-man roster if he's not active.
I got you.
I think he'd have to be on PUP to start the season. I think.
Real quick, guys. So you trying to tell me Noah Brown? Noah Brown has been balling, my guy.
How many receivers can you possibly keep in good conscience, man?
That's true.
So what are you gonna do?
And Dennis Houston is balling. He's making a case right now.
This cheap ass team, come on, man. And a drafted free agent. This cheap ass team over a vet.
I feel that. I mean, I don't stuff, but I mean, he made a couple plays, I should. And then I've been saying this since the offseason, man. I mean, Tristan Hill, I think his roster spot's in question. You know, I know a lot of people that have said, hey, look, he's looked solid in some of these practices, but he's a guy that when they got drafted, man, there was question marks around his work ethic.
He's a rod guy.
Whether he loved football or not, and all that stuff like that. So I mean, and you just kind of look at it, and you have to kind of wonder that yourself. So this is his year, man, and I think he's got to do something, because I feel along this defensive line, we've got some dogs on that defensive line, man. And if Tristan is showing that he's one of those guys, I mean, he's a guy. They ain't got nothing. I mean, they got nothing to lose really by letting his ass go. Because I mean, look, you either ball out, or here's the door, man. We'll show you the door. Because yeah, I mean, that defensive line is, it's pretty deep, man. I'm encouraged by that defensive line, man. You ain't worried about that right there. We got guys rotating in and out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I guess a guy that was here last year, or kind of, I guess it'll be his redshirt freshman year, because he got hurt and they stashed him and all that. I think is a guy, Josh Ball. I think he's done skis, man. I don't know what else they need to see to know that this guy can't play tackle. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's definitely, for sure, might be a legit fucking cut this year, man.
Cutting a 4th round pick, though? So you're cutting a 4th round pick? I mean, it's not unheard of. It's not. But damn, I mean, to give on a 4th rounder who this is his first year in pads, right? This is his first year in pads.
Yeah. He got hurt early last year, and they kind of stashed him there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got when's Waletzko coming back? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, not saying that Waletzko has earned anything here as well, but what has Josh Ball earned? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's out there getting his fucking ass whooped every fucking.
Essentially, Waletzko is keeping the roster spot based on the unknown, whereas Ball will lose his job for actually playing. But if both played, both could be ass. like for real, they both could be ass. And
I agree.
It's like you're saving your job by not taking the test, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't go front. I actually passed a class in college like that shit.
Hey, you know what? I was just thinking when you said he's a 4th round pick. I was just thinking about this though, man. You like when you see a guy super bad across the offensive line. The first guy I was thinking of when you were saying that though, right? You remember the Giants drafted Eric Flowers? He was the number 9th overall pick in the first round, and they stuck with his ass there for 3 years, but they cut his ass. They were like, all right, we've seen enough from this one.
I mean, but that's kind of the same notion we're getting from Tristan Hill. You know, after Rod left, we were like, Nolan came in, and then we're just, like, oh, I guess. I mean, every season afterwards, we're like, he's probably gone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know he's a 2nd round pick, but he's probably gone.
But in his defense, right? In his defense, when he played in 2020 and defense complete shit, he flashed a lot, man. He actually played hard. Yeah. So the guy can actually play a little bit. It's just there's nobody here who's caping for him in the front office, and because of that, like Kelly is saying, that line is deep, man. You got people that they think are dogs around the D line. So now you have a strength of Gallimore. The other guy, Ridgeway, and the thing with Hill, he's a tweener. He's a 1/3 technique. Yeah. But some of these guys you got certified 1 tech behind a. Well, I think he's got to play better also. Not that he's in danger of getting cut, but I ain't seen enough so far. Me personally, with him, 98. But it's a lot of depth all over the roster, man. So I mean, we gotta see. But I'm still curious, like with you guys, man, how you can't see Noah Brown being cut. Like how many receivers are you taking to the roster for him not to get cut?
I think for me, as far as Noah Brown is concerned, I think it's the comfortability that Dak and Kellen have in Noah, dog. You know what I'm saying? He has a chance to be this year's Seth Wilson, dog, to be honest with you. He's lost some weight. He looks good coming out of his routes. You know what I'm saying? He looks good. He looks good catching the ball, period, dude. He's had some good practices. He's had some good joint practices, man. I mean, you've seen, everybody's seen the highlight of Dak throwing, a dime, bro. Right in his hands, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it just comes to that. Like, there's always those guys that Dak trusts, man. And I think that's one of the guys. He knows the playbook. He's also although I said he slimmed down, he's also a bigger body that can block, dog. And I know that's one thing. Like, we're like, well, fuck, who cares about a receiver that can block, man? You need in this offense.
They care.
They can block. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they do.
But I don't know, dude. I mean, to me, I mean, there's guys like I mean, is TJ Vasher? Is he making this team?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah. Out.
Who else? I mean, who else, man? I mean, a guy
so start from the top, right? Start from the top of the depth chart and work your way down. So let's say we start with CD, right?
Mm-hmm. So
you got CD.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it's Tolbert, number 2, Dreezy. Let's just pretend it's Tolbert.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So CD, Tolbert, 3. If Gallup makes it, like you said,
yeah,
if he makes it, maybe not. So that's 3. So you got the who else is in there in that mix? You have maybe Houston. Possibly.
Houston.
I think he's making a strong case, bro. Yeah, definitely.
Are you cutting Simi?
Fajoko, you got Fajoko.
That's 5.
That's 5 right there.
5.
You're possibly releasing James Washington. I mean, he went. Did he go straight to IR? Did he go straight to IR, or what is he doing? Or is he? Where? I don't know where he.
I don't know his status.
Yeah, I don't know where he.
I had read that was a strong possibility for him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and you keep hearing Jerry and this front office say we like what we see in these young guys and we want to see what they got. Right. So let's see what these guys got.
I feel like just from what we've seen so far, though, that you probably got, if you factor in Gallup and you're keeping Gallup in there, and you've got Gallup, CD, and you're considering those Tolbert, your top 3. Honestly, I kind of see Brown as your 4th, though.
4.
I mean, right now on the depth chart, to be honest with you, because I don't really see that. I mean, I know what they want out of Fajoko, and I know Houston's been, but I mean, just looking at it from, all right, you know, because Noah Brown ain't been no slouch so far in camp and what he's done so far. So, I mean, I feel like it's going to take some pretty big performances to drop him down a little bit lower than that, just because of the fact, like you know, like Adam said, he got that experience with Dak, got the experience in the offense. You know what I mean? In their eyes, you know, he's our veteran. You know what I mean?
And that's value in this offense, bro.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I say that as well.
Yeah, and maybe if James Washington would have had a good camp and he stayed healthy, you know, then maybe I'd be a little bit more concerned about Noah Brown. But
because he's played all right, man. I mean, the practice wise, he seems to he's flashing here as a receiver, not as a return guy only. And again, the money, man. You know, it's not a bunch of money, but a 3-year contract is a hefty commitment to cut a guy.
Yeah,
a month in. So you know,
true.
So to answer the question real quick, I got Ball, just like Adon said, he's gone. And a guy that we mentioned just a few minutes ago, I think Dono's gone, man. I think Dono at one point had his spot secure, and now just like LP said,
safety got. And that's because you just mentioned it, LP. Yeah,
safety got to be a strong point for. But hey, who would have thought, right?
Yeah.
But hey, there's somebody, but you know what? I got a question for LP. Man, for as weak as it potentially can look, how do the numbers shake out?
So let's see. So 6 receivers, right? We're saying 6, correct? 6.
Yep.
So 6, 4. I feel like that you would carry because you haven't cross-trained the first round pick. So I say you carried 9 linemen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 9, 6, 4 is 19. 19. I would assume you only carried 3 running backs also, right? 3 running backs.
Yeah.
So 3 running backs, 2 quarterbacks. So that makes 24. So 24, and then the rest defense and specialist. So I say let's say 3, right? Kicker, punter, long snapper. That's 27. So you have 26 to work with left on defense and your core special teamers. Yep.
Which
don't sound too bad.
So Noah Brown was the core special teamer, dog.
I mean,
but was Turpin part of the 6 receivers then? Because if not, he's got to be the specialist, no?
Yeah,
as a return guy.
Yeah, but LP just said we signed him to what 2 or 3 years? What was it?
Coupons. So, like I said, you've invested the 3-year deal, and I said, I mean, what's going to happen is that if a guy goes to IR, that then opens the spot. If Gallup's on PUP, that opens the spot. So you have 2 spots open to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's really where I be, just Twitter, man. And I'll be bouncing around podcast to podcast, making the rounds with everybody, man. I'll be swinging back through here with you fellas.
That's right.
So yeah, man, that's it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Y'all can find me on Twitter at SDQ Flight Crew on Twitter. You can find me at theleaguewinners.com.
Hey,
writing whatever, man. All about the Cowboys for like, sub, all that good stuff.
yeah, absolutely, man. Like my boy said, go subscribe to his channel, Stonehouse Sports. Go follow my boy Kelly K9 on goddamn Twitter, because you know he got the impression. He does the best Jerry Jones impression in the world. Ain't another guy like this man, dog. And he's always live as hell, man. But y'all already know where to find me, dog. I'm at Hopdeville on Twitter, dog. Talking that shit. Like I say, man, fuck the Eagles, dog. And they motherfuckers, baby. Yeah. Dreezy?
And instead of plugging my own, so instead of plugging my own shit, I just want to thank Kelly and LP for coming on. They're both the great Twitter followers, man. Thanks. Every day I'm sitting on the toilet. I'm sitting there on the toilet just reading through Twitter, man. Good fucking follows, man. Good fucking follow.
Yeah,
appreciate y'all.
Hey, thanks, man, y'all already know how it goes, man. Thank you for rocking with Talking Boys with the Boys. And if you ain't rocking with Talking Boys with the Boys, then you ain't part of the cartel, baby. Bam.